Hey guys, Janet Urban here, founder of Friends in Film, and I'm on a shoot right now. We're back. I'm on a shoot right now. We're shooting with Brad Pitt, just coming back from lunch. And I want to tell you about 3 things that Friends in Film is doing that is amazing and how it blows away film school. First thing is you have to get here on set. Okay, getting here on set, you think probably something you have to go to film school for. No, that's exactly what Friends in Film does, is it teaches you how to get here on set without film school. And without knowing anybody. Number 2 thing is you gotta have get it factor. Get it factor is where people around you on set think that you know what you're doing and they want you around and they ask you back. So that's a lot of things that you're doing on set that shows people that you understand, that you get it. Number 3 is that you need to be doing the craft that you want to do on the side. So if you're acting, if you're an actor, you want to be acting. If you're a director, you want to be directing. If you want to be a DP, you need to be DPing stuff on the side while you work on these big professional sets. The awesome thing about that is then you have questions to ask people, professionals. You'll be working with world-class directors and DPs that you can ask them anything. See, I know that you're talented, and I know that you want to work really hard on these sets, and you have a picture in your mind of this life that you want, and it's everything to you. And I understand very well because I was the same. I wanted to work for National Geographic. I wanted to travel around the world filming wildlife for National Geographic. That was my idea, and it gave me direction, and it lined up so that I could meet all the right people. Notice I'm talking about connections. Connections are key. Connections are the key to your career, and this is what you're missing, how to build these professional connections so that you can get on sets and get enough experience that they pay you for an actual job that you do on these film sets. See, you're trying to get into a connection business through Facebook groups, through Staff Me Up, through the organizations that your school is recommending, but it's all giving you the same result, where you're with a whole bunch of other people that are also trying to get in the film industry. A lot of aspiring people, those are your connections. You're not building hardly any professional connections. And you might feel like it's because people are not exactly inviting you in. So what can you do about that? Well, let's talk about that, because that is exactly where all your focus should be. So where are your people that are going to hire you? You can find them on IMDb. This is very similar to what I did when I started, because I wanted to find National Geographic people. I'm like, who are these people? So you can go on IMDb and look at your favorite TV shows and feature films and look at who worked on those projects. Those are your connections. Those are the real connections. Your question needs to be, how can I get connected to those people? You found them, they're right there, and they are not on Facebook. These shows that you see on IMDb, they are not putting these jobs on Facebook. They hire their own people. There are all these hidden film sets out there, and you need to get on those hidden film sets in order to start making those relationships. You need to get in those circles. It's all about who you know and who knows you. And you can see that all these people on IMDb are real connections. Those people need to know you, and you need to know those people. And what you're doing now is not getting you with those people. You are going on Facebook groups, Staff Me Up, that's going to lead you to ENG stuff. That's going to lead you to events, low budget work with other people that are struggling to try to get in the film industry themselves. Start thinking in connections and making it the most important thing, and your world changes. No more are you going to be like, oh, what am I going to do today? I'm going to work on my script. No, you're going to be like, oh no, I need to be connecting with the right people so that I can actually start learning on film sets, so then I can start writing my script. You might be like, okay, I need to look on Facebook and see what there is on Facebook. No, you're going to be like, oh no, I need to get the connections with professionals on professional sets so I can start learning from them and start getting paid. So you're actually going to change what you've been doing for your career and start only focusing on the jugular, only focusing on the most important thing, which is connection building. So in order to help you with this, we're going to do a power statement. So a power statement clarifies your direction and for what you want to do. So here's the power statement. In order to go fast in what I want to do as now fill in the blank here, could be DP, director, actor, production designer, costume designer, whatever it is that you want to do, fill in that blank. I need to get connected with, and now you list the people that you need to meet on these professional sets. So the list of people will be production managers, production coordinators, producers, directors, production companies. So you put that list right there. On professional sets and now you list the kind of shows that you would love to work on. So I'll give you an example. In order to go fast in what I want to do as a cinematographer, I need to get connected with directors and producers and production supervisors and ADs on set, on professional sets and now list the shows that you want to do. So for me, it would be commercials, National Geographic, Discovery Channel. Those are all my places that I call home. So what you need to do is you need to position yourself for these people to find you. So how can you position yourself so that all these people hear about you and you can get referred to them? You know who they are, but they don't know who you are. Well, how the film industry works is people hire people that they've met on film sets, number one. Second way that people hire people is they get referred to you, number two. The third way is when you've worked with other people that they know, and then again, you're referred to them. So notice, this is all a bunch of people talking together, right? Having conversations together. We're trying to get into a film industry where it's very interconnected like that. So what you want to do in order to be found is you want to be freelance and be doing freelance jobs. You want to be finding your own work and you want to be entrepreneurial. You want to be doing a lot of the tasks and jobs that you will do on film sets on other jobs. There are jobs that I call similar to set jobs. They're similar to set, they're not the set. And on these jobs like concerts and events and brand ambassador work and promotional modeling, you're doing tasks on these jobs that are very similar to what you do on set. The other method that I teach that is so good with connection building is the get on shoots method. The get on shoots method is where you find shoots, you get on them and you work in all of these different departments and you build your experience. You work in art department. You might shoot second camera. You might help out with the producer. So now you're getting production experience. You might help out with sound. You work in all of these different departments and start to understand how the film set works. So similar to set jobs plus the get on shoots method are really super powerful for getting pulled into the business, getting invited into the business. Now, I'm going to talk more about that on Sunday, so you'll be able to see my methods for how we get you guys working, getting in the door through connection building. There's a mastermind call button somewhere on this page, and make sure that you sign up for that now, because I will go more in detail about how you get in the door through connections. Now, once you get on these sets, it's a whole nother connection building that you are now doing, because you are now building connections to get consistent work, to keep getting hired on these film sets. This is the most important time because you will be building a base of connections. That means you need a lot of connections because you're only hired when there's a film shoot. So in every market, there's about 40 to 50 film shoots that are currently happening, or much more. But even if you're in a market like Pittsburgh or Bristol, if you draw a 4-hour radius around you, there are shoots happening that you will not know about until you get into this invisible film industry and start meeting these professionals, start getting connected into it, and then you're going to find out about all these shoots. That's the thing about the film industry. They're shooting down in a neighborhood, down the street, around the block, and you won't even know that it's happening. And then by the time you hear about it, they're all packed up and they're moved on to a different location. That's filmmaking. So if there's 40 to 50 shoots happening around you at one time, then you need to get connected in there so that you're getting called for at least 5 or 6 or 7 of them, so that throughout your month, you're working on a shoot every single week. See, the thing is that there's no training program for what to do on these film sets. I teach people what to do on these film sets so that they glow, that they look amazing, and people want to hire them back. But when you get on a film set, you're only talking to other PAs, and nobody's going to tell you really what to do. They're like, okay, go get the cooler over there, or go pick this thing up. But they're not telling you what to do to look good so that people think that you're great. They don't tell you how to get everybody remembering your name and asking you to help them out so that you can start to get to know everybody. So there's all these little tricks and ways of getting really in there and getting exposure on that film set and doing this all the time on every single film set so that all these people know you and put you in their phones. Well, this is what I teach you guys. So this is what I call get it factor, where you get it. People think you get it and they They want to hire you back. They want you back, as opposed to not asking you back, where they're shooting again, this group that you just worked with, and you find out that they did not invite you. And you're like, aw. And the thing is that nobody will tell you what you're doing wrong. Nobody will tell you why you didn't get hired back, but it's because you did not have Get It Factor. So Get It Factor is so many things. It's like where you understand what's going on these film sets. You know what the producer wants. You know what people need, and you know that your job is to make the set run smoothly. You have an in-depth understanding of what is going on in that day, scene by scene, and you are prepared in order to be most helpful on the scene. You are wise beyond your years. You get it. That's Get It Factor. Now, I know that you're most excited about learning how to get connected just to get in the door. And then I know it's probably pretty exciting for you to get connected so that you're working consistently as well. But what is the most exciting, what's going to give you the life, is going to be this method. The boomerang method is what you use if you want to become a cinematographer in 1 year instead of taking the usual 10 years. The boomerang method is what you will use if you want to be a producer or a director or a writer and you want to do it fast. If you don't have any time to waste, you're going to boomerang. What is boomerang? Okay, boomerang is where you work on non-union sets and union sets. You intentionally go back and forth because your whole career is working on film sets, right? So yes, there is a strategy for how you can gain experience very fast and gain connections really fast. How you will do it is you will build experience on non-union sets. There are no rules for moving up into a craft job on union sets. You can get on set with a production job and that very same day be working in the camera department. You can get opportunities to direct second unit. There are no rules. You don't have to be in the union to do those jobs. So non-union sets, that's where I started. That's where everybody starts to get their bread and butter experience, to get really good at the craft, and to get qualified to then join the union to work on the big union sets. So narrative TV, feature films, all the high budget work, the commercials, the kind of work that I do, that's all union sets. That's the top work, the best work. So when you're starting off, you don't start off doing your craft on these big sets. You start off doing them on the smaller projects. Could be music videos, could be non-union TV, could be MTV stuff. All of that stuff is non-union, and it is a perfect place for you to learn. That's exactly where I learned. National Geographic was all non-union. Discovery Channel was non-union. The interviews I did was all non-union. The documentaries were all non-union. That was my bread and butter. So that's where you will start as well, is non-union sets, to gain experience in your craft. So the only way you gain experience is by doing it. You've got to do the job. You got to do it again and again. You got to make your mistakes. You got to make your adjustments. You got to meet other people that are doing that job as well on non-union sets, and they will teach you. So non-union sets is where you're going to start. And then you're not only going to work on non-union sets, you're going to have the mental capacity to also know, I got to get on union sets too. Union sets is the big stuff. That's where I'm at. That's where all of the big TV shows, all of the stuff that you saw on IMDb, that's union sets. Most likely, a lot of the big stuff is union sets. You also want to work on those shows because you want to meet those people. That's where your mentors are. That's where the people that you are going to work with in the future are. And you want to start to make those relationships now while you are building up your experience in the non-union world. That's why it's called boomerang method. You boomerang back and forth between non-union and union sets. I will get more in depth on this on our mastermind call that's coming up soon. There's a button somewhere on this page and you can sign up for it. Okay, so this is all about connection building. Your whole career is based on connection building. This is all you need to focus on right now. Connection building solves all the other problems of experience and getting in the door and getting paid and meeting people. You don't need to spin your wheels doing all these things to try to impress people in the film industry. They don't care. They're all working. So let's go where they are and start working with them. Connection building system is all that you need. And that's what I teach you. So come to our mastermind call and learn the rest of it. Okay? All right, everybody. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys on Sunday.